All right, to all my people who still watch wrestling, this is another episode of Yes, We Still Watch Wrestling. This is episode 17. I'm Steve Dent. We got Shaq in the house. We got Chili in the house. Man, we fresh off of a crazy weekend in wrestling. This is going to be a heavily WWE favorite podcast episode. It won't be much AEW talk unless y'all got something y'all want to add. But we're going to get right to it, man. War Games was Saturday night at 6 o'clock. I said this to you all, and I say this on this episode. From the Friday night after WrestleMania to this past Saturday at 6, I have been anticipating this War Games match. I haven't anticipated a match for this long and a long period of time. Like, everybody's been guessing this match, and we didn't, everybody didn't pick all 5 members for each team. We had an idea of who was going to be for what team, right? I don't want to hear nobody say they picked Bronson Reed being on Bloodline 2.0 though. Nobody saw that coming. But for the most part, we had an idea who was going to be a part of your team. Once it got closer, you started to guess either CM Punk, Seth Rollins, or somebody like that. But for the most part, we knew this match was going to happen. But we're going to get into the main event later. Right now, we're going to review the entire Survivor Series card. Heavy anticipated one of the big 4. So we're going to go down the lineup, man. First and foremost, we're not going to go in order, because I'm going to start with something that we on this podcast, we give out justice, what we call justice for few superstars, right? Justice for Shayna Baszler has not happened. If you watch Monday Night Raw, we still need justice for Shayna Baszler. It has not happened yet. My girl got kicked out in the first round.
On how she fell off. Look at the studies on her NXT to pro the main roster trajectory.
Golly, in the first, she can't get out the first round. Crazy. I mean, I'm happy for Dakota Kai. My God. But we did get some justice Saturday night. We got some finally earned justice, and just to start, man. So we're gonna start with LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Chili, I'm gonna start with you, bro. What did you think of the match overall, and how you feel about the belt being taken for LA Knight and given to Shinsuke?
Overall, solid match. Give it a B plus on the high end. If that tick the boxes in general. I'm happy about the title change. Again, with the belt on LA, it didn't highlight it any more than it could have been under another wrestler. And again, I think LA didn't need it. He didn't do anything beneficial, I think, with the title. Maybe that's part of how they booked him. I'm happy to see Shinsuke with the belt. He's needed a title for quite a while, being as in regards to his resume alone before even coming to WWE, and then originally having him out push when he was in, first came in, to now it's something that's overdue. We put a belt on him, whether it was a world title or a mid-card title. So very happy to see that.
Word. Shaq, where you at with it?
Finally, some damn justice for Shinsuke, man. Like, anybody that knows me, or, you've been watching the pod for a long time, I'm a huge Shinsuke fan. I've been telling Dentis way back in the day when he only watched WWE that, you gotta watch this match at Wrestle Kingdom 10. You gotta watch AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. Like, you have to watch his match. He drug his ass for about a year and a half on it and didn't want to watch the match, because that's just what Den do. Den's a WWE-aholic. He don't believe in no other wrestling.
That's not true.
But,
he's slowly coming around. We'll give him a little grace. Slowly coming around.
Slowly. I've been watching AEW, man, for a while.
AEW been around 4 years, man. But, from his run in NXT, we thought once he got called up, the Rocket was still going to be with him. Not so much, but it was good that, and in the manner in which he won, it was, I didn't want to say it was a squash match, but it was kind of like a glorified squash match. Like, going into it, once the match started going, we thought, Shinsuke was going to win. So, good for him, and hopefully he does some good things with this belt and holds it for a little bit longer time and don't do him dirty.
Yeah, I get a match with B. It was a solid match overall. Not one that special, but I like the way and we only got 2 samples in regards to this, but I like the way Shinsuke is winning matches since he's been back. Friday night, he beat Andrade by randomly pulling the turnbuckle off in a very creative way. And then Saturday night, he kind of used that metal thing in between the ring to do a reverse DDT and then win. So I like the manner in which he winning. I said this, man, to somebody else, like, if this was Vince, we had this whole presentation and he loses. You know what I'm saying? So I said this, like, you can't give him a new theme music, which is his theme and his interest is incredibly fire. Like, the joint is crazy, and you can't.
Use two different songs now already.
They use two different. So I'm wondering.
I like the first one more than when they use on Survivor Series, but
I'm wondering if that's his PLE music, and then the one we heard on Friday is the one for TV. Who knows? Maybe he sticks with the one we heard at the PLE, but you can't do that and then set him up to lose. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's by DQ or somebody else running in, like, you can't do all of that and then have him lose. So I'm very happy that he won. I think this is the beginning of what's about to happen for him, especially justice-wise. So I think it's just a beginning, man. I think eventually, maybe not next year, but I think towards the end of next year, we might start to see him make a run towards being like a world heavyweight champion. I don't think they're going to put the WWE title on him, but I can see him having a world heavyweight title where I would love to see him be the one to beat Gunther after they do. I think they're doing the draft after Mania next year, and I would love for him to go to Raw and be the one to actually dethrone Gunther. I think that would be a classic match. So happy for him, man. Happy.
And that's set up for Punk or John Cena, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, you know, but yeah, very happy for Shinsuke, man. So let's rewind. Let's go back to the match that opened Survivor Series. So Chili, I'm gonna start with you again. I'm starting with you most of this because me and Shaq were sitting together watching Survivor Series, so I know his thoughts. But the Women's War Games match, before I say anything, I want to hear what you got to say on the match itself, and specifically, like, what did you think of the ending to the match?
Ending was good. Ending was fine. Everything before that, though, was mid or worse. Mid. You know, it's like once you like, they just didn't set a good tone.
Yeah.
I think there were some issues with maybe them not finding certain weapons they were trying to bring in the cage.
Yeah.
And then with that happening, them kind of just like the no selling. Now I won't say it was no selling, just not really throwing the chair shots like you should.
Right.
And the camera catching that shit. It's like the appetizer was not good, and it just ruined the remainder of the meal.
Right.
And there were just little highlights throughout the whole thing that were, oh, that's good. That's good. But overall, man, barely a C, man, if that, as far as that match goes.
I'm with you, Shaq. Where you at with it?
C minus. There just was a lot of botching going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of botches, people not being in their spot where they were supposed to be. Like Willie mentioned, them chair shots. Yeah, just I understood what they were trying to do. They just missed their mark a little bit, and it took them a while to get the ball rolling for them to finally start clicking and start putting on. So I give it like a C minus.
Yeah, I was at a D plus until the War Games match officially started, when Rhea Ripley entered the cage. When she entered the cage, then the match started cooking. If we was just a judge off of that, I'd probably give that part a B. But if we factor in everything that happened before that, I remember I was telling Shaq, it was one spot where Io, like, you could see Io coming from one ring to the next. She about to hit Nia Jax with a chair, and then I guess somebody said to her, and she was like, I guess it ain't my time yet, and she just fell out. I was like, yo, what's going on? I know Chris Jericho said he hate the word bots, and I get his justification, but I mean, I don't know what else to call was happening in that match. I specifically asked about the ending because I didn't understand why Team Rhea won. And maybe it's because they just announced that it's going to be Rhea versus Raquel at Saturday Night Main Event, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe that's why. But outside of that, like, I follow Mr. Sanchez app, y'all do too, and I watched one of his videos and what he was saying, and it made perfect sense. And I was kind of thinking the same thing, like, how do you have both women's champions on the same team and they lose, and you got Miss Money in the Bank on that team? You know what I'm saying? So how do you have all, like, pretty much the three highest accolades in the women's division on one team?
That's a super team, basically.
That's a super team, and they lose. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand, like, the math in that. I think the Team Liv could have won, Rhea didn't have to take the pin, so you could have protected Rhea. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to build Rhea up for that rematch with Liv, like Rhea has enough clout at this point for that rematch with Liv. You know what I'm saying? You could have protected her in the instance. I don't understand why they had to win. So that's why I didn't particularly like the ending. I mean, I don't know. But what was you about to say, Willie?
I think it was basically used to. It was like a filler episode, so it's a filler match, kind of like to push forward other stories, not to like
Yeah.
highlight an overarching kind of story between both groups. So it's like you're just telling little small stories within both teams, whether it's Bianca and Bailey, Naomi and Bailey, and Bianca and Jade, and what's maybe going on with that. Tiffany and Nia, and then the whole Rhea and Liv thing. So I mean, it's like, hey, we're just gonna put this mortgage board together, match this shit up, and just tell an entire story or whatever.
Tell a story
you
with
know?
it, yeah.
Yeah, just tell a story with it.
Yeah, I get it. So this next match we're gonna rapid fire. It's not really a story behind it, but the triple threat IC match. What
Match of the night.
I
Match
don't know
of
if
the night.
I don't know if I agree with that, but all right. What grade do you give it? The match?
I give it a B plus.
B plus. Okay.
Plus, I thought, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the hell they're gonna give Sheamus his Grand Slam. Like,
I don't think it's
I don't
happening.
know what the hell they doing at this point. The man ain't got but so many more years left. I know he
Yeah,
re-signed and I don't know how much more he got on this new contract, but
Yeah.
goddamn, get that man his Grand Slam because he's on the back end.
Maybe it happened at Mania. It might happen at Mania. Who knows? Who knows?
Them sacrificing Braun just so Sheamus could get that. Braun's on the upward trajectory right now.
I mean, if he got the belt to WrestleMania 41, I mean, I think that's
that's fine. Yeah, just not right now. Just
yeah.
not right now.
Because Braun at some point is gonna move on to the world heavyweight title. So you know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, Sheamus should be the one to dethrone him, unless you're gonna
He's
use.
gonna lose either Cody or Punk. That's what's gonna happen whenever Braun decides to go for a title. He's gonna fight one of them, or maybe Seth.
Yeah. So yeah, what you get a match at?
A minus B plus.
I give it B plus. What? All right. So next, Damian Priest versus Gunther. What did you guys give that match? And do you think the ending was cool, or do y'all think it was unnecessary?
It was necessary to propel storylines further. The Finn Damian storyline, I understand that, but I more so like the fact that even though Gunther was a heel, he hated the fact that Finn did. It's like he said, I have to do this myself. Like I have to be Damian myself to prove to myself that I could beat him. I like that more so than the fact that Finn interfered.
What you think, Willie?
I liked it. I had no issue with the ending and story they're telling. Again, they need something for Gunther, and I think they're going to do a triple threat. I would love to see them do a triple threat with all three of them. I think that's a very, very good match. Give me that at Royal Rumble. Give me a triple threat: Gunther, Finn Balor, Damian Priest.
That would be good.
And that be Gunther's like his validation for himself at that point. Like,
Yeah.
I beat both these boys. Like, you know,
Or they could, or there's two more places they can do it. They can do it at the Netflix premiere, or they could do it at the second Saturday night main event in January. So they could do that. I mean, obviously, we already know what's going to happen when Gunther and Finn Balor face each other at the Saturday night main event in 2 weeks. So, you know, me personally, I called the ending. I said that was exactly what was going to happen. Finn was going to interfere. Here's what I will say though. I think if we don't get Demon Finn Balor at some point in this rivalry, I think it's a missed opportunity. I think at some point in this rivalry between Finn and Damian, because of the bad blood between them and because of the history between them two, I think at some point we got to see Demon Finn.
He don't be winning when he do it though. Like,
that's hey, but that's under
every time he's done Demon, he's been a face.
Yeah,
maybe as a heel, there's a different side of the.
He was a heel against Edge. He was a heel.
He was a heel.
Yeah, he was a heel against Edge.
He took Judgment Day away. Yeah, he was here.
But all those times was under Vince. We just saw what Triple H did with Shinsuke. So maybe maybe Triple H will go back once again to the NXT roots. Remember who Demon Finn Balor was, and actually give him the victories. I do think at some point we got to see Demon Finn for this rivalry. I think this rivalry is worth it. I think Demon Finn is what you were saying about Hell in a Cell, how like we don't need to see it like all the time, but for some places it's worth it. I think for this rivalry with him and Damian Priest is worth it. So I was cool with the ending. And then the main event, the match I have is match of the night. I don't think it's even debatable, but
What about the War Games is match of the night?
War Games was match of the night, dog. And I felt just the fact I was always feeling this way. And then I've seen 4 people say it was not only, and I ain't say I want to, but I ain't say it was a 5-star match. But I've seen 4 people say it was a 5-star match. I see Santi Zap say it. I seen Vigilante Talk say it. I seen and 2 more people. It was 2. I think Malcolm Muscle said it, and I think somebody else said it. And I'm like, okay, well maybe I'm not tripping.
We just giving out stars then, huh?
I'm just saying the match was incredible. Yeah, look that up real quick.
All right, so to call that a 5-star match means you're calling it a classic.
I think it was. I think it's easily, in my opinion. So when the last time you watched the other War Games matches has happened in WWE?
WWE? I've watched WWE ones.
Cause I did
WCW ones.
I did a run through. It's easily top 3 War Games matches in WWE history.
I'm not denying that.
Easily. The only War Games match that might be above it is the one that had a Keith Lee. What's my man name that got let go? It was Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa. Kevin Owens made his surprise return to that one when they went against Undisputed Era. But what's the dude name? Dijak. It was that one. That one is probably number 1. It's between that and the War Games match that just happened. Those are my top 2.
They gave it Cage Match gave it an 8.1 basically.
Okay.
It was the highest rated match of the night.
Yeah.
Right behind. I mean, the IC Triple Threat was right behind it with an 8.
You know what? I would, in all fairness, because and when you put it in disrespect of, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a match of the year candidate. So I wouldn't give it 5 stars based on that. But I do think
it was a good match, without a doubt.
Yeah,
entertaining.
I say great. I'll dial it back and say great. I do think it definitely was match of the night, though. Definitely match of the night.
You don't deserve Jacob Fatu and all his
glory. Listen. Listen, dog. Jacob, the way they, and that's one of the main things about the way they booked Jacob in that match, bro, was incredible, dog. Incredible. And then shout out to Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso, in my opinion, was the MVP of the OG bloodline. Yeah. Like my man did the corkscrew moonsault. He ain't did that in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Speedy recovery to him. He broke his toe on that splash through the table. So wishing him a speedy recovery, man. He recovered
to Bronson Reed as well. That man killed himself.
Right. I don't. They haven't disclosed exactly what the injury is. Yeah.
It's his ankles. It's his ankles.
Okay. Yeah. Something's up because they which we'll get to later. Wrong. Yeah. They said he's gonna be out for a little bit because they said that and we'll talk about this a little bit later on, but they said that's the reason why Drew came back so soon is because they had to deviate plans or whatever. But so the match in itself, what grade would y'all give a match? There's layers to this, so I'm gonna ask that first. What grade do y'all give it officially?
A-. You know, if I gave a B+, it's got to be. It was better than that, so
B-, B+.
How you go from B- to B+? That's a wide range.
B+, excuse me. B+.
B+. Okay. I give it A. I give it an A or A-. I'm cool with an A-. It definitely matched the night though. All right. So what is y'all guess for what the favor is that CM Punk wants? What is y'all guess for that?
Let me interject.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. But do you want better?
Okay.
What the favor is?
Okay.
CM Punk is who attacked Jimmy Uso.
You don't think it was Drew McIntyre?
No, it was not Drew McIntyre. It was CM Punk. Now, I had been thinking about this all day today as I was doing my research and doing my reviews of Raw and everything.
Yeah, let me hear this theory.
Now, July 14th, when you capture
this. Go ahead.
July 14th, 2023. Now, when you're doing the shorts for this, clip this in there. This date.
Oh, I'm gonna give you shine, brother. This whole thing is going up the bar.
July 14th, 2023. I'm assuming it was a SmackDown episode. Jey Uso, he's already left the bloodline now.
Mm-hmm.
Jey Uso super kicks Paul Heyman. Remember what CM Punk has said about why he decided to help him? Because he wants his lick back for what folks did to Paul Heyman. Putting hands on Paul Heyman. There's only one, he's the only person other than Bloodline 2.0 that has laid hands on Paul Heyman. He needs lickbacks. I don't think he bangs with Sammy in general, like on a personal level. I don't know what beef they have, but if anybody has issue with Jey, it could be CM Punk because of that. And if you're looking for a plot twist that you're not expecting, that is it right there. Now go to that episode. Jey Uso super kicks Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman comes out there with Solo, and they about to run the fade with him, and ends up getting the advantage and super kicks Paul in that event on that episode. CM Punk is getting get back on everybody who's laid hands on Paul Heyman. Now don't be surprised later on down the line if the other person who laid hands on Paul Heyman, Kevin Owens, ends up under the in the bullseye of CM Punk. That's just my theory. That is my theory.
I just watched it. He did.
Now, just keep that in mind. For some months down the line,
I'm gonna have to rewatch that. I have to
rewatch. I have to go back and rewatch some CM Punk promos just to see exactly his reasoning why he went back and helped the Bloodline. And I know it's about Paul, but I want to listen to his wording on it. But I know it was about them motherfuckers fuck with the wrong one.
So, that's a hell of a theory. I will say that first and foremost before I go any further. That's a hell of a theory.
And also, Roman Reigns is on a hero's journey. He's on a hero's journey. He's on a hero's journey. Anyway.
Definitely. By the way, side note, Shy, we just want to let you know, Shy, this episode is for you. You called me and Willie out saying we're scared of the baldy. Both of us got the baldy out. You know what I'm saying?
He was wearing hats.
We was wearing hats. So he was like, association, man. I just thought about that. But my only thing about that is that, so you're saying that because we know at WrestleMania 41, barring injury or any setbacks, we know there's one match we can pencil in, and we don't know if it's going to be for a title yet. Now that part we don't know, but we know that Seth Rollins versus CM Punk is happening. So if that's your theory, you're saying that CM Punk is going to be the heel for that match. Is that right?
I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up happening because I'm gonna go even further, like in just tying in how just like the WWE universe is working right now.
Right.
Look at the plot twist they've been throwing out there. Look at what happened last night with Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And how it's being portrayed that Seth is going to be turning heel again. What is the easiest carrot in front of your face to make you not focus on the other shit going on? Is it throw in front of you that Seth is possibly going to be turning heel? What is a carrot in front of your face to make you think Kofi or Xavier is going heel?
Right.
You know what I mean? Is it make you think they both going heel themselves instead of one or the other?
Right.
Like the way they've been doing things, like the formula they've been using recently has been to dangle one thing in front of you and it be something totally different. Sami Zayn is like, it was you, Seth. Seth is like, nah, it ain't me. It ain't me. Then who is it?
So I still think it was Drew. I think Drew is on a rampage right now. Number one, he's pissed off that he lost to CM Punk.
He has reason to.
Number one, he's pissed that he lost to Punk. Like, he's pissed. So what's the next best thing? Because for right now, that rivalry is over for right now. So what's the next best thing? You go after anybody associated with the bloodline. That's the one thing you've been carrying on to. That's the one grudge that you've been having. And to see them, and because it wouldn't have happened had they lost, but to see them win, because you even heard Seth talking about it, like, it wasn't the fact that you teamed up with them. It was the fact that not only did you team up with them, but y'all won. And y'all standing there triumphant, throwing up the one. He put the sleep sign up, all this other stuff, right? So go ahead. What you about to say? Go ahead.
Let me add you one more onto this.
Go ahead.
It's CM Punk and Paul Heyman is in on it. Paul
Mm.
Heyman,
That's
little
go ahead.
jaded ass,
ahead.
who wants his lick back, how he wants his lick back.
Yeah.
When he was, after Roman lost, he disappeared. Paul was by himself with just Solo running rampant. Can't get in contact with Roman. His tribal chief left him out back when he needed him the most. Remember when CM Punk came back and Paul was like, "Take me with you."
Yeah.
Like, fuck all this other bloodline shit. Take me with you.
Take me
I'm
with
trying
you.
to come back home.
Yeah.
So, to piggyback, that's what I favor is. But to be, he wants a title shot. That's too obvious. That straight line forward is right there. The favor is he wants to be the only Paul Heyman guy in the company. You have to leave Roman Reigns. You're with me. That is. I help you out. That is the favor. I am the only Paul Heyman guy in the company. That is the favor.
I think all right. So I think it's Drew, and here's what I think the favor is. And I wish we would have recorded this yesterday. It won't happen though, but I wish we would have recorded this yesterday because I seen Bully Ray say it today, and I was like, man, the number one thing CM Punk, and it's funny that these two are going to be facing each other at Mania, which we think maybe that might not happen. Maybe according to Willie's theory, that may not even happen. According to yours too, Shaq, that may not even happen. So we're not even going to pencil that in because Willie is right. The way that WWE has been doing stuff, that may not even happen at Mania. So we going
Punk ain't focus on people with no belts.
Yeah, he said that on Monday night.
I got nothing for you, boss.
So it may not happen.
But you know, yeah.
But CM Punk and Seth Rollins both want the same thing. And I think CM Punk is going to use this favor from Paul Heyman to actually cash in on that favor. And the number one thing that both of them want that they've never done is main event WrestleMania. Like you heard Punk talk about it, like as far as like the Rumble when he got hurt in his promo, he was like, "Hey, the first thing he said was, since a kid, I've wanted to main event WrestleMania. I thought it was going to happen this year because he was penciled in to win the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? They made an audible because of the elbow injury.
Real quick, Dan, this Rumble is going to be the greatest Rumble of all time.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So much star power.
I'm with you. Oh my, Willie, hey,
it's gonna be insane.
I didn't want to say it. I swear to you, Willie, I didn't want to say it because I knew Shaq was gonna be like, you going over the top. But I've been feeling this way for a solid month.
The star power they're gonna have in there. And that final five, like fuck the final three, final 6 or 7.
Man, and hey, Willie, we not even talking about the women because there's an argument that the women's roster is better than the men's. So, like, yo, I swear to you, I looked up tickets last week. I swear, I looked up tickets. I looked up a North Face jacket. I looked up a North Face jacket and gloves because I know it's going to be 20 degrees out that joint. But I'm with you. I'm with you 100% on that. I think this is going to be the greatest Royal Rumble of all time.
Continue now. I had to bring that up here.
You good, but I think that's the one thing both of them wanted, and CM Punk got the advantage because now he got the favor from the one person in the company outside of Triple H that can give him that favor, and that's Paul Heyman. And what we might see happen is we might see a setup where it is going to be maybe a rematch between Cody and Roman or whatever, and then Punk inserts himself and it becomes a triple threat or something like that. But I think that's the favor. I think him finally getting a main event spot in WrestleMania, I personally think that's the favor, but we got 3 solid options. Like, I mean, you can't, all 3 of these theories is possible. Like anything, all of these theories can happen. So I think that's dope. So what do y'all think is next for the bloodline? I'm gonna say real quick what I think is next for everybody as far as the bloodline. I don't think it's going to happen at Saturday night's main event, even though they said that Roman is advertised for that event. But I don't know if they're talking about December or January. But they did say that's on the calendar for him, the Saturday night's main event. They've already announced 4 matches. So they announced Gunther versus Finn Balor. They announced Cody versus KO. They announced Liv versus Io. And what was the 4th match they announced? There was another one. They announced it the other day. I know the women's final for the IC tourney is going to be there. So it's another match
Same
today.
same for the U.S. as well, I believe. No, are they
Yeah,
going
you're
both?
right. So it might be those two. So there was another match. I'll look it up. There was another one. So I don't know if it's gonna happen in this one, but soon we got it. Now we at the point where we gotta have Solo versus Roman for the Ulu Fala. We gotta have that match because Roman is gonna be in the Royal Rumble. He's gonna be in the Royal Rumble. So you can't have that match at Rumble. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen in the Elimination Chamber. So I think we at the point where you got to see Roman versus Solo, and I think that's when The Rock is gonna come back and pick a side. And we're gonna see what happens from there. So I think that's what's next for them. I think Jay, before Jimmy broke his toe, I was gonna say they might make a run at the tag team titles, but now that Jimmy broke his toe, I think we're gonna see that. I think we're gonna see a Bloodline, almost like a crew, where it's like all right, now
Bloodline against the world.
it's literally about to be the Bloodline against the world, because not only are they battling Bloodline 2.0, but now because they won, now people see the threat of Roman Reigns getting back to the top, and nobody trusts that he's changed. Seth pointed out that he never apologized for anything like that. So you got Drew, who just did what he did. We know he definitely kicked Sammy's face off. We don't know if he attacked Jay yet. I think he attacked Jay, but we don't know that for 100% sure yet. But I think not only Drew, you got KO when he run into Sammy. That's eventually going to happen. And I think we're going to see like everybody pretty much going against Bloodline 2.0. I mean, the OG Bloodline, to kind of continue what Willie's been saying about Roman's hero's journey. Like, now that we got another mountain to climb where we beat Bloodline 2.0, I got to be Solo, but we also got to fend off these attacks from everybody else. So I think that's what's next for the Bloodline. CM Punk, obviously, at some point, he's going to go after the title, but we don't know exactly what his next match is going to be. I don't think they're going to, I can't see them having him versus Seth anytime soon, but I think that's what's next. But what do y'all think is next for the Bloodline?
With the attack, like with Seth stealing off on them on Raw, like they're definitely doing the match. Now CM Punk, he said he had nothing for him because he don't got a title, but you punched me in my face, dog. Now it's go time.
He ain't
So
technically ain't punched him in the face. He just pushed him.
he stole on him, dog.
No, he didn't, just pushed him.
I think they
just
did a
pushed
little
him.
play fight, but like,
Yeah, they went in like they started like they was about to throw hands, of course, but he in the beginning he just pushed him down. He ain't still on him.
So I think they're setting that up now. Now it's like getting close to WrestleMania season. They're gonna start playing. So I think that's next. As far as like the entire bloodline, I think because Jimmy's out, Jay's gonna be out now. To do the whole injury angle while they try to Sammy's going on the whole wild goose chase, trying to figure out who attacked Jimmy, who attacked Jay, who attacked Jay. So with those out of the equation, that kind of leaves like Roman to fend for himself, which could get a little tricky now. So this could be where the other members of the family that's signed that we haven't seen yet come into play, or this could be with a Rock, who I think they're saving for that Netflix show. I think that show is going to be out of this world. They're going to go over the top with that show because, they got us at the bar. So, yeah, I think that's going to leave Roman by himself. He's going to try to fend off and conquer a whole bunch of stuff. That's what I see it going for right now.
Well, Cody already hinted that there's going to be a couple surprise returns at Saturday night's main event. He's already said that. I think if they have Solo versus Roman at that event, I think Rock is coming back. And if they announce that match, I'm booking my ticket the next day. I'm going. So I'm booking. I'm going. I'll take the train. I'll take the train to New York, find a place to stay, and we'll make it work. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting, man. Layers. The greatest story to ever be told in WWE history, going to continue for a little bit longer. So I think this is going to be dope. Now, I don't even want to talk about this. I'm going to be honest with you. But we've here.
You want me to be Mike? I'll do it.
Nah, we've arrived. If you look over to my right and your left shoulder, there's a picture of...
hey, real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I didn't really comment on my bloodline.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead, bro.
It just popped in my head because I was going to make this thought. I would like to see if Jay isn't like really injured, and give me a him and Sammy run at tag titles, and Jimmy gets jealous, and then it works its way back to a Jimmy versus Jay match. so they can rectify that bullshit.
They need to rectify that.
We had to watch
They need to rectify that.
at WrestleMania last year.
We need give me Jimmy versus Jay at Royal Rumble to rectify that. I'm with that. They got to make that up. And Jimmy,
it ain't like no beef like before. It's like now we just
Right.
going to have some brotherly beef,
Right.
and then it's going to be good after that.
And then we good after that. We settled after that. I just need back. Yeah, we got
I
it
would love to see that.
because we know, like, we wouldn't have been so excited for that match if we didn't know the type of match that they could put on. They both, like, for anybody who questions Jimmy or Jay's wrestling skills, and so and Shaq, not to what's the word I'm looking for? Dispute your point, because you made a point last week, and it's 100% true that heels don't necessarily have to have the best in-ring skill set, right? The exception is the Usos. If you go back and watch their matches as heels, they are their best wrestlers when they are heels because they pull out all types of stunts as heels. Like they pulled out all, like, go back and watch the Money in the Bank match between them and the Street Profits, for example. I think they do their best work as heels. I think they do all the gimmick stuff as faces, you know what I'm saying? But their best in-ring work is as heels. And so we know what they can do, man. It's just, according to Jay, they ain't have enough time, but you know what I'm saying? They need to rectify that. So I'm 100% with you on that. I'm 100% with you. But yeah, all right. So if you see this picture behind me, man, it's a picture of Kofi Kingston winning the WWE title and celebrating with the New Day, man. The New Day as we know it is officially over. This isn't a spoiler. If you didn't watch Raw Monday night, you still saw it, but unless you had your phone turned off and been hiding under a rock. Everybody's been talking about it. It's been posted everywhere. Kofi in a turn that we did not see coming. And here's before I let you speak, Shaq. Here's what I told you.
How you know I got something to say, man?
Nah, because I told you, I've been saying this for weeks. You've been wanting to do the same old Marty Jannetty BS from the beginning. The same old, I'm gonna just attack you and beat you up. The tail turn that we see time after time. And there's levels to heel turns. Like there's levels to this. Like when you just gotta, like for the Street Profits, yeah, all right, cool, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the Street Profits, but do that. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a group as iconic as the New Day, you got to do something different, man. Give us something that we don't see coming. Give us something that we don't expect. And last night is officially what they gave us, because they technically they kept them together while turning them both heel. And the crazy thing about it was, as of last week, Kofi finally got mad, and then Big E coming back is what was kind of set them over the edge. So the New Day as we know it is officially over, man. I'm glad they did something different. Before I say anything else though, how we feeling about the way they did it, the split, the heel turn, and what do y'all think is next for them? Yeah, go ahead.
ISO on me. What camera am I on? ISO on me.
Go ahead, fool. Camera one.
Thank you. Guys, I love this. Like, I agree with you, Dad. Like, Rocker split was coming. Yes, I did. I thought Kofi was going to turn, and then, he go on a little run with it. But this was perfect, guys. I love shit in wrestling that you don't see coming. Expect the unexpected. And nobody saw that double turn coming last night. Nobody saw that. I was, oh, they're mad at E. Like, this is perfect. This is great. And E too damn big to be looking so sad. Like, this. I'm pretty sure you can still beat them.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. What are you talking about, man? We brothers.
Come on, man. Don't do
What
like this.
are you talking about, man? You gonna do like that? You gonna do like that? Like, E too damn big to be sad. I think you can still probably beat both of them up. But it was perfect. Like, I didn't expect it. Like, I don't think nobody else saw that coming. So good. Like, and I agree with you. Do something different if you can. Like, if it makes sense, do something different.
My only gripe, bro, is I didn't care for Big E's entrance. Like, because one, his music itself is not recognizable.
Yeah.
But when he does that, or whatever location, don't you dare miss our clap your hands. That would have went over so hard, and that would have made them denying him hit that much harder. I felt like
I agree.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing, and I'm just hitting this in the ether again. Triple H, Paul Levesque, big fan. Love your work. Why is both the black tag teams heels right now? Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
just saying.
You
Just saying.
you talking about Street
Why are
Profits?
the black tag teams the only two we got? Both heels. I ain't mad at it, but I'm just saying, man. Why are both heels, brother?
I didn't think about
You have a
that.
good and a bad one. Why they both got to be in black Air Force energy right now?
So I didn't think about that as far as like if Biggie came out to that music. The only thing I will, and just playing advocate right now, the only thing I will say is maybe him coming out to his music was another sign to them that he left them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he didn't even come out to the New Day music. He came out to his own music. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was another sign that he left him. And everything, because when Woods first started talking, I'm like, how are they going to make this make sense? Like, how are they going to do this? Because once he started saying now, and I saw Kofi face, I said, oh, shoot, they both about to turn on him. But I'm like, so how are they going to make this make sense? And then Kofi come out with the guillotine, dog. Talking about it. I said,
sounds like a personal problem, my dog. Like the fuck,
yo,
like a personal
see you
problem.
back on Monday, bitch ass nigga.
Hey, and the best part of this is how Big E's girlfriend has been cooking them for the past 24 hours, dog. She's been deep frying both of them, dog. Cooking them. But I think it's dope. Like, and you could tell, like, they probably had conversations like, all right, we need her to do this. We need you to do this. All this other stuff, man. And you can, honestly, if y'all go back and watch, you can tell, like, Woods didn't want to do it. Like, he knew it was, like, internally and personally, you could tell, like in all seriousness, like you could tell like he had to do it, but you could see him kind of smile when they doing the New Day chant and Big E is out there. You can see him smile real quick.
He broke character.
He broke character. You could tell he really didn't want to do it, and you could look at Kofi like, we really about to do this, and you know what I'm saying, it happened. And almost like what Hulk Hogan said about him turning heel and what Stone Cold said about him turning heel, like you could, both of them said like throughout the process, we wondering if this is gonna go over, if this really gonna work, should we actually even do this? And you could tell all three of them was doing it. The only gripe I had was exactly what y'all was just making fun of. I didn't feel like Big E did enough to sell that moment, yo. I mean, I feel like part of professional wrestling is the acting part. You know what I'm saying?
Some people are just terrible actors.
Yeah. So I mean, I think, but it wasn't to me. To me, he didn't come off as sad. I think. Well, you know what? He did come off as sad, but I think when Big E came out, and this is not a fault to Big E. Everything I'm saying is not a fault to Big E. I don't think he did enough to sell the moment, but I think the reason why is I think he was overwhelmed just by being out there. You know what I'm saying? Just being out there, being in the ring. You could tell once he walked out, like he was overwhelmed by the moment. And what I would love to see, I don't think it's going to happen. So let me say this first. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the reason why they did this was to perfectly write him off because he's not going to be medically clear anytime soon. But fantasy booking though, what I would love to happen is I would love for Big E to eventually get medically cleared before WrestleMania 41. I'm gonna tell you how I'm a fantasy book this real quick.
I always want the happy ending though. Sometimes a nigga gotta go through.
Can you let me finish? Can you let me finish? Can you let me finish?
They don't want nobody break up. They don't want.
You don't even know what I'm about to say. Can you let me finish? Can you let me finish?
Gotta die.
Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you, dog. You don't even know what I'm about to say. That has nothing to do with what I'm about to say.
Somebody has to die.
There's nothing to do with what I'm about to say. And that has nothing to do with what I'm about to say. So sis, and let me finish. So what I would fantasy book this, what I would love to see happen is I would love for Kofi in the near future, whether it's Royal Rumble or something like that. Well, actually, this has to be a televised episode of Raw. I would love to see Kofi and Woods have a shot at the tag team titles, right? Big E comes back, right? Costs them the match. He destroys Kofi, completely destroys Kofi, puts him out, like on the side while Woods is in the ring, not knowing what's really going on. When Woods come to two and realizes what's going on, we have a playback, and I'm gonna tell you what the playback is. I believe Big E. This is how I finish book this. I ain't gonna say believe, but I would like to see Big E take him out with the big ending. And if y'all remember the Hell in a Cell match between the Usos and the New Day, Woods was hanging handcuffed from the ring post on the outside, and he kept getting hit with the kendo stick, right? I would love for it to be a playback, but in between that moment, Big E cuts a promo to Woods on how he blames Woods for Kofi and both of them turning on him. And he kind of says on the same lines of, you guys have the audacity to actually turn on me and say I left you when I broke my neck and I had to sit home and watch you two still continue to live out your dreams, still continue to wrestle while I'm pretty much have to get accustomed to having a desk job, to doing interviews, to doing NXT workouts and things like that, and I can't live out my dreams. And then I come back in a way where I really don't want to, but I want to support you guys because you guys are on the brink of breaking up, and you have the audacity to accuse me of leaving you when you guys are still living out your dreams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end both of y'all now. You know what I'm saying? He continues to attack Woods, but sets up a match between one of them for WrestleMania 41. So that's why I said shush, because I do think somebody has to die, but I think it has to lead to a match between Big E and not Kofi, Big E and Woods. I think part of him would still sympathize with Kofi because I think for him, and I'm once again fantasy booking this, I'm just thinking he would blame Woods as the reason why Kofi turned, and he can always get Kofi back on his side, but he got a real issue with Woods. So that's my fantasy booking. Thank you, Shaq, for letting me finish my point.
Through the barbershop window, let's move on. Next storyline.
Like, come on, man. Stop trying to read me, dog. You don't know what I'm about to say. But let's see. All right. And then, Willie, you kind of touched on this earlier, man, as far as Seth. So, all right. For your prediction, I think you already answered this. So, you don't think Seth is turning heel. You think they pretty much trying to hypnotize us and it's really CM Punk, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Shaq, what you think? You think Seth is turning heel? Why?
I think Seth is a better heel.
Willie, you know how he keeps saying all this stuff like he's right, like he's gonna be right.
I never said I was right.
Hey,
fantasy
matter of fact, I just thought about something. Willie, I want you to know something. So, hey, Willie, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. On last week's episode, no, the week before that, did we make our picks on Survivor Series? Did we make?
We didn't bring it up at the start of the show.
Okay,
we didn't do picks, yo.
Cause he tried to say that his belt won on the line. You know what I'm saying?
It was not.
So let's say this now. At Saturday night's main event, your belt is on the line.
I am Le Champion.
You
don't one win, I think.
You don't tell me when. You don't tell me when.
Me and him tied for the last pay-per-view, but but a tie doesn't relinquish the belt. It's kind of like a draw. You know what I'm saying? So he still gets the belt.
You got counted out.
But Saturday night's main event, your belt is on the line. I just want you to know that right now.
You can't tell Le Champion when to defend his belt.
You don't make the rules, we do.
I am the champion.
You're outvoted, man. Yeah.
I got.
Why do you think Seth is turning heel?
So going into this, now this all is predicated on what happened with CM Punk, right? So if it stays the course which it is now, I don't believe they'll do a face versus face match with that. So somebody has to be the heel going into that. And I just feel as though the way the trajectory that Punk is on now, he technically didn't do anything wrong in the situation. All he did was come back. Seth has been the one with the hate and the vitriol towards Punk since he came back to WWE. So they'll just start planting the seeds. Now Seth's going to start turning darker and darker. He has that much hate for this man that I'm going to turn into somebody else because I want to kill CM Punk. Like, I hate him that much.
My only issue with that is that we just saw that with Drew McIntyre. We literally just saw that with Drew McIntyre. We just saw that same thing.
So it's on a crash out run of all time, man.
Yeah, so I think we literally just saw that. So that would be my only.
You think they're gonna do face versus face?
I do. I don't think neither one of them turn the heel because
they don't need it. They don't need it for their story.
They don't. Yeah,
they just hate each other. Like two good guys can hate each other, man.
Yeah, right. They
can.
Yeah, I don't think there has to be a heel turn in this situation. I think Seth can continue because Seth, to be honest with you, for the past year, Seth has always been a he's already been a good guy that got heel tendencies. You know what I'm saying? He's been a tweener, but he's too over to turn him. People still gonna sing that song even if he turns heel. Like he's too over, and then the same for CM Punk. So I don't think a heel turn needs to take place. I think they both stay as a face, and then you gotta think about it like this. The only way that even makes sense, because Jey Uso is not going to go after a world title no time soon. So you got to have a top babyface on Raw. So the only way that makes sense is if Gunther is turning face, which I will say reports came out that they are leaning towards turning Gunther into a babyface. So if they plan on making him and Jey Uso the top two babyfaces in the company, then it might make sense. But outside of that, you gotta have top baby faces on Raw, especially with Raw about to go to Netflix. And I don't see a situation, because you already got plenty of heels on Raw. I don't see a situation where they turn one of them. You need a face to go after the title. You need one of them to be face, if not both of them.
I do think the Gunther turn is coming, because what heel is not happy to win by any means necessary? What heel is not happy? Like,
his whole
Gunther
was
Gunther
ring general though, like
yeah, Gunther, yeah,
I would just beat you, and it clearly just beat you. And he didn't. I'm trying to think, like, has he had many like match interference wins like that?
Nah, he hasn't.
I don't.
He hasn't. In the beginning of his Intercontinental title run, yes, but
Imperium,
but after WrestleMania 39, no. Well, because he didn't want, like, it set a trend. So, like, for a year straight, like, Imperium didn't even walk him to the ring. WrestleMania 39 was a cutoff because he didn't have no interference in that triple threat match. He didn't have any interference at Clash in the Castle with Sheamus. So, majority of his matches toward the back end of his IC title reign, he didn't have any interference at all. So, I think the only heel that could pull that off is Gunther, because he could easily say, like Willie just said, I'm the ring general and stuff like that. Like, I need to, do this by myself. So, but they are talking about possibly turning him face, so that could happen. But that's the only way a heel turn for Seth Rollins makes sense, man. But once again, we don't know what's about to happen. Maybe it's a situation. Seth already hinted to the fact that not only he hates CM Punk, he feels betrayed by Sami Zayn for teaming with CM Punk. He might feel betrayed by Jey Uso too. He might not. What he hasn't talked about yet is the person he feels most betrayed by. Yeah, y'all know who that is, right?
What, Kevin Owens or?
Nah.
You say who you talking about?
Who Seth Rollins feels the most betrayed by?
Most betrayed by
Cody Rhodes, because he didn't even first of all, he didn't even want to team with him at War Games, and then, like, think about it this way, like, Cody Rhodes, and I've said this to Shaq a lot of times. I've said this on this podcast.
Come back on the low, yo.
Yo, Cody Rhodes low-key came in and took Seth's spot. Beat him, which never should have happened. You want to talk about justice. No way Cody Rhodes should have beat him 3 straight times, especially with the third one being him having a torn pec. That should have never happened. Right? Took his spot, and he still sacrificed everything to help Cody take down the Bloodline, only to see him go back and team with the Bloodline. And if not for him teaming with Roman Reigns, we don't even get this start of him going back on his hero's journey, right? Because at that time, when Cody Rhodes teamed with him, Jay wasn't going to team with him, Sammy wasn't going to team with him, none of them was going to team with him, right? So I think Seth
has that story though right now. Like, Kevin with that story,
he has that story right now until he moves on to Sami Zayn. So I mean, it's possible that we could see a Seth turn. I don't see it happening. I think he stays face, but we could see it happening. So, but yeah, all right, Shaq, it's on you for the either or.
Right, to our first time listeners and watchers here on Yes We Still Watch Wrestling. Either or, this is a segment where I ask a random question, give a comment or a scenario out there. It could be to test your wrestling knowledge or, just answer. So the question I have for both of you gentlemen tonight, and I sent it out a little earlier because I didn't want this to be on the cuff, on the fly. I want you guys to think about this a little bit. The question I have for you is that, given our long love of wrestling, the amount of wrestling knowledge and history that we all have and share, what is one underrated and overrated moment in wrestling history to you both, gentlemen? Would you like me to share mine if I think
Yeah,
you
go
all?
ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Shaq. My bad.
Go ahead.
For me, my overrated moment is that Hulk Hogan Andre the Giant match at WrestleMania 3. Very
Okay.
trash match. The
You
slam
talking about? Wait. Circle back. Let's dial this back. So we need some understanding. Are you saying that the match was overrated or the moment was overrated? You think the moment was overrated too?
Andre the Giant has been slammed 1,000 times before that. Hulk has slammed Andre 1,000 times before that. It's an overrated moment.
When?
When?
I mean, tell the audience. For those who don't know, tell the audience when Hulk slammed Andre.
You want specific dates?
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
WrestleMania,
at WrestleMania 3. That's when they televised Andre hasn't been slammed in 15 years. Bullshit. Yes, he has.
That's what I'm saying. So everybody knows that Hulk slammed him at WrestleMania 3, but you saying that Hulk slammed him before then. Tell the listener audience when.
Several times. I can't give you specific dates. Look, I'm wrestling
All
back
right,
in.
so was it like house? Was it like
house shows? I mean, wrestling. You got to think back then. Wrestling was all house shows. It wasn't on TV like that. But you listen to people. You look at them. Let me talk. You listen to people talk. There's like Andre the Giant has been slammed hundreds of times before that. Hulk has slammed Andre 100 times before that.
All right, so I did a quick. I'm on a PC, the computer right now. So type in when is Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant, and the AI stuff usually comes up if they can pull some shit for you real quick. First thing it says, Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant multiple times, including at WrestleMania 3 and on September 13th, 1980, which is obviously a different date than when WrestleMania was. He did it several times in that year already. Had slammed him.
All right.
And there's video of the another random time.
That's what I just. All right. So that was the only thing I was asking. Like, all right, it's one thing to say that, but people, when they see this clip, they need to see visual proof. So there's visual proof out there that he slammed them beforehand. And if you're saying yes, then I would agree with you. That moment would be overrated then, because they did bill it as the first time it happened. But if it's not visual proof, it's almost like the Wilt Chamberlain, right? To me, it's a myth because we don't see no highlights of it. We just see him holding up a sign to say 100 points, and that's it. You hear people talk about it, but ain't no visual proof of it. So to me, I think it's a myth.
He slammed that nigga.
He did.
Yeah, I just pulled a video.
All right, cool.
He slammed him at some random house show looking shit it looked like.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if it's visual proof, then yeah, I'm with you. All right, cool. I'm with you.
My overrated is going to be the DX invasion.
Yo, I was about to say that.
As a kid, you think about it. Oh yeah, he had a tank. Them niggas did not have no tank, dog. Niggas pulled up in a Jeep Cherokee, man.
And they didn't even go inside the building. To be honest with you, the only reason why I lived there as a kid was because it was home. That's it. Yeah. It was a kid. But Shaq, you didn't get to see your. You didn't get to see your.
They tried to go in. They closed the door on them. They tried to go in.
I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that.
No. If you listen to 83 Weeks podcast, Eric Bischoff, he said his biggest regret is closing the door. He was like, he should have left the garage open and he should have had his cameras rolling.
And you see some motherfuckers from WWF get their ass whooped.
He said that's his biggest regret. He said he should have left it open.
My thing is, what's A Willie? You on the PC? What date did that happen? Tell me the date that happened.
The random.
Yeah, the DS invasion. Why Willie's doing that, Shaq? You ain't get to see you say your underrated moment.
Oh, my underrated moment is definitely the first All-In show in 2018.
Okay.
That moment should go down in wrestling history. Of course it was, the stepping stool or the stepping stone for AEW, but for what that did, where they said no company outside of WWE can put on a show in an arena, and they sold 10,000 tickets in less than 24 hours, an independent show at that. Like, that right there shows that we wasn't the only game in town, and wrestling fans will come together for something they love. So I feel that's a very underrated moment, and it's going to go down in history as one of the greatest moments ever.
What moment did you say? I'm sorry?
The first All-In.
Okay.
When they said no wrestling, when Dave Meltzer, I believe it was like, well, no wrestling promotion can sell out an arena other than WWE. And they weren't even a company yet. They were just it was 5 friends putting their money together, putting on a show. And
DX happened
10,000 tickets.
April 1998.
Excuse me.
Okay, all right, cool. I just wanted to see if that happened during daylight savings time. All right, cool, because the sun was wide awake when that door shut. Cool.
Really my underrated moment.
So this is tough, man. I honestly needed more than a day for this one. Man, Willie. One of mine was gonna be overrated. Was the DX invasion of NWO?
This ain't DX one. I'll go Medusa throwing the belt in the trash can.
You said that's overrated?
Overrated. And it's underrated. It's overrated and underrated.
I don't see
Overrated
it.
because nothing
Explain
came
how.
from that for her.
Say that part. So nothing came from
Underrated because that happened. You get the
You got
screw
the
job.
Montreal screw-
Yeah,
you
you
got
get
the
the
Montreal
Montreal screw job.
because of that,
That's
yeah.
so it's a two-sided
Yeah.
coin right there.
Yeah, they lied to her though. That's why she went. They straight lied to her. Said, "We're gonna have a women's division for you. You're gonna be the face of the women's division." Nothing.
So I think that's a twofer right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. Oh, this is tough. Underrated. I'm between two events. When Daniel Bryan turned heel on AJ Styles on SmackDown, and he became like the Planet Earth Daniel Bryan, I think that's the most underrated heel run of all time. Even though it was short, like it was unique, it was different. And I loved it. I loved it when he was calling people fickle and all sort of stuff. Like I loved it, man. Making a new WWE Championship out of him. I thought it was fire. And another moment, I really was between three. The silly one was choppy your PP. That joint. I remember seeing that. I remember as a kid, like the TV turned off. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, dang, they cut my man thing off, dog. Yeah, at school the next.
Classic. I remember that.
I literally walked into school the next day, and my homie came up to me and was like, "Yo, they chopped my man thing off." I'm like, "Yo, that's man."
Same way.
I'm gonna go. This technically should not be funny. God, please forgive me for this. But I'm gonna go with when Boss Man dragged that casket during the funeral for Big Show. That's one of the most vicious things I ever seen. Dog. That's really crazy. Overrated? Shaq, I apologize to you, brother. If you want to hate me for saying this,
You're about to say something blasphemous.
if you want to hate me for saying this, I will. And I understand. I can understand your gripe and all of this. I know what this moment means to you. But
Man,
if you,
let me have to curse you out.
but blame yourself because you gave me technically 30 minutes to think about this because I've been traveling all day.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
No, you sent the text like 2 hours in advance, but I'm talking about the time I had to think about it. I really had time to think about it, so I'm going off the cuff right now. You should have sent it yesterday.
So how is my fault?
Shawn Michaels retiring Ric Flair, and the reason why I think it's overrated. Because that Negro never went away.
He went away. Ask WWE. They don't talk about that time.
He has been holding on to the mantra of Ric Flair forever. He never went away. Listen, to me, he never retired. He never went away. Like he never.
That's not Shawn Michaels.
He wasted that. Just like in all honesty, the only reason why I didn't say Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar was because the shock of that moment. I would be lying to myself if I said it was overrated. Like the shock, that's the one moment in WWE history. That's my number one moment that if we had a top 5 of things we did not see happening, I did not see that happening. That's number one. Like you was there to see my face when it happened. Like you was there to see. Yo, I was appalled. Like I didn't even want to watch the rest of WrestleMania. And I knew Daniel Bryan was about to win the championship. I didn't even want to see the rest of WrestleMania. To be honest with you, had I been in New Orleans when that happened, was it in New Orleans? I would have walked out. I would have left. I would have went straight to a bar. I would have left. I was so pissed with that. But the shock value of that moment alone can't say it's overrated. But that Negro Ric Flair never, and I'm going to call him a Negro because he has all black tendencies. That Negro never went away. He never.
That won't, Sean?
It's not. No. That I want to be clear. That moment, me saying it's overrated, has nothing to do with Sean. Sean did everything he was supposed to do.
We're good. We're good then. We're okay. We're
He
good then.
did,
We're
he
good.
did, he did everything. He was that moment. Ric Flair shouldn't have been seen or heard of for at least 5 years because of what Sean did. He played it to a T, but because that Negro never went away, I'm gonna go with Ric Flair. That's my
He did
answer.
go away. Ask WWE, did he wrestle again after that? They'll tell you no.
And I bet they will.
He not in our record books.
I bet they will. I bet.
He went to that. Yeah.
I bet they will. I bet they will. But nah. And as I'm thinking, when I'm thinking of stuff, one of my favorite moments ever is the Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon match, where he really suplexed him through that glass, and they said they won't fake glass; it was real. That was crazy. But I'm talking too long. Willie, you didn't do your underrated, right?
No, I did. I did my underrated. It was crap. What was it now? Shit.
I remember your overrated. I can't remember your underrated.
I said it was Medusa in the trash bin. It was
Yeah, that's right.
overrated and underrated.
You did say that. All right, cool. That's the wrap for episode 17. You say, y'all, be on the lookout for episode 18. Is going to be a very special episode. All three of us are going to give our end of the year awards. First time ever for Yes, We Still Watch Wrestling. So we got our awards coming as far as our superlatives for the year. Who we got as match of the year, what we got as moment of the year, interest of the year, most improved, all that stuff. So tune in next week, man. But in the meantime, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We're on social media platforms. Make sure you like and subscribe to the content. We've gained, over the past 10 days, we've gained almost 200 new followers. So we appreciate y'all.
Hey,
We appreciate
what's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all, man.
We appreciate y'all,
Quit
man.
my job, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all new followers, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the content. Make sure you talk to us in the comments. We love debating. But until next time, man, y'all stay blessed. Have a great week. Hope y'all enjoy the episode and see y'all for the awards show.
Peace out, y'all. Love y'all.